Hey guys, what's going on? MTB Slam is going down tomorrow. Don't click off, stay tuned. Towards the end of the video, I'll have the fishing portion of this video. We're just doing like we did a couple months ago. We'll go over the baits and the rods and reels here at the house. And then, like I said, I'll go fishing tomorrow to try and complete the slam, but it'll all be in this one video. So anyways, enough talking. Let's get into the baits so this video is not too long. First up, we have the SK Jerk. I typically don't throw jerk baits this time of year. I really don't even throw them in that muddy water, but we'll give it a shot. This one here is, man, this is $18.99. It's almost 20 bucks for one bait. Lucky Craft SK Jerk. Color is BP Lavender Shad. This is the 100 size. So weight would be 5/8 of an ounce. It's a 4-inch bait. I know you guys like to see them in the package. The white side, it should show up well in that in the muddy water. But typically I throw jerk baits, you know, early spring, late fall, winter time, things like that, or times like that. I have that rigged on a 6/8, medium heavy, moderate fast action cranking rod. I like the 6/8, that way when I'm working the bait, whether it be a jerk bait or a topwater or something like that, I'm not smacking the water. I got that on a 12-pound mono. I'm using a Daiwa SV105. It's a reel designed to throw lighter lures with light line. This is a heavier lure, but this is typically what I use for like smaller topwaters and things like that. I already had it rigged up or spooled up a 12-pound mono, so that's what we're going with there. Next up we have, it's just called Worm, Fishing Physics. I'm not going to open these up in here. I can see there's a whole lot of liquid in the bag. Genius bait. Looks like scent release for up to 12 hours. Black worm, so the color is perfect. You guys want to read some of that? So, black worm should work well. Put that on a shaky head, something like that. Looks like 1, 2, could be 1, 2, 3. It's like a 4-pack. I can tell you one thing, they're pretty stiff. Seems like a really hard plastic. I have it rigged on a medium power fast action rod. It's a 7-footer on a Daiwa SV105, again designed for a lighter line. I got 12-pound Seaguard Vizex on here, and I'm using the shaky head and the intruder blade that you guys will see here in a second. But this worm is kind of stiff, so I got the hook brought through here. On the other side, I didn't bury it in the worm, and like I said, it's a stiffer plastic, so I'm not sure how this is going to work out. I may have to Texas rig this, but what I did was I cut it down so it kind of looks like a Cinco, and I cut it down to where the blade would screw into the bottom there. The tail is just too thin. Now I lost my action of the tail because I cut it off, but now I gained the action of a blade, so kind of give and a take deal. But like I said, I cut it down to where I had enough room to screw that blade in there. So we're using the shaky head in the box on that worm with the intruder blade. Next up we have, okay, the Intruder X Solo blade in a willow, Mr. Finesse. This goes for $4.33. Looks like a 2-pack. These are pretty cool. I make these myself just with a swivel and you know, a blade or whatnot. I put that in my I believe it was a finesse rigging video I did. I'll put that video down in the description below. But I usually put these like in the back of a Cinco, something like that. And you can make them yourself just by getting a little hitchhiker and then a swivel and then a blade. But that's all you do there. You'll just screw that into your plastic. What I'll probably do, I can actually see we got a shaky head in here. What I'll probably do is maybe cut this worm down and put the blade in the back and then rig it on that shaky head. But there's the blade right there. Gold blade. Gold works pretty well in muddy water, so you can see the swivel and the hitchhiker. And there's the package there. It's 2-pack. Okay. Then we have, oh, the yum chunks. And I used to fish these things all the time. That was like one of my go-to rigs. I used to use a KVD swim jig and a yum chunk. And man, I used to catch a bunch of bass on that combo. This is an 8-pack. This is the 2.75, so 2 3/4 inch green pumpkin 8-pack yum chunk. This goes for $2.99. I have that rigged on a New Tech Lures Elite 3/8 ounce new jig. Black and blue jig, green pumpkin trailer there, the yum chunk. That's a 7-foot medium heavy fast action rod, 7.3 Type R, 15-pound Seagar and Braze X. And then last up we have the Reaction Strike Porky's Revenge. This is a 2-pack which goes for $2.40. A full pack is a 5-pack which goes for $5.99. Couple shaky heads there. Black, they got a screw keeper on them. That's a little smaller hook than I'd like for that worm. Sharp hook, but not sure if that's big enough or not. We'll play around with it. Then we have a sticker. Scratch off, let the kids do that. And then we have the Dibble Digest. What do we got in here? Carl's Corner, if fishing was an Olympic sport. Pretty cool. Become a better wacky rig fisherman in 3 easy steps. Different contests, things like that. And guys, too, check out the MTB YouTube channel. They're doing some pretty funny videos with the other KVD and John B. They're like competing. So they've already got a couple of videos out now. I'll put a couple of those down in the description. Definitely check them out. But give them a sub. Check out those videos. They should be putting some more videos up within the next couple of weeks. So. Well guys, that should do it for the baits and the gear. I'll see you on the water. Alright guys, here's the deal. Just got to my first spot. I'm sure you guys seen me fish this spot before. I got 3 baits I don't have a whole lot of confidence in on this lake, so I'm going to a spot that I have confidence in. Wind's blowing through this drain here. There should be a few fish stacked up here on the outside, so let's see if we can make it happen. Time to get out the JJs. I mean, it's just pure mud back here. Alright guys, I left the drain. Water's just pretty muddy up there. I came back down south. Hopefully I can pick a few fish off. Down here, the water's just a little bit clear down here, but not much. So we're gonna hit this point, and then we're going to hit the dam and see what we can do with this jerkbait. You can see that jerkbait maybe 8 inches or so, so that ain't too bad. So looking ahead to the dam, I'll come back and hit the spot. Could be a timing deal. Wind's blowing in on it though. You would have thought I would have got a bite or two. I mean, I didn't fish it a bunch, but I want to hit that dam so maybe I can get bit so I can slow down. I just feel I'm fishing too fast, but I won't hurt him get on the board. Little one come up and follow it. Well, it's a fish. On the jerkbait. I may have to get a little bit closer for you to see that one. One down. On the jerkbait. I'm gonna try and get bit on the other two baits first, then I may try and upgrade that fish. I'll take it. It's definitely a joker, but I'll take it today. That was on that, I think Genius worm it's called. There's the worm, the shaky head, and the blade. Just got to get one on the jig now.
Got him. Yep. There we go.
Oh, yeah. Slam complete. Whew. I knew there'd be one in that brush. I knew it. Finally. Complete. Not a bad one either. She wasn't coming off. I could have flipped her. I put that there she is. I put that yum chunk on the back of a spinnerbait. I'll take that. Gonna grab a picture. I'll get the release. I thought it was going to be a total joker fest, but that one was probably pushing maybe 2 3/4, something like that. That one saved me. Well guys, 6 hours later we completed the slam. This could have been one of the toughest days I've had all year. I mean, it was definitely a tough bite. I mean, I'm fishing some baits that I really don't have a ton of confidence in on this lake. We just had like 2 full days of rain. The lake is like extra muddy. Water temps weren't too bad. It was like 85, but it was just a tough day. But the first fish you seen came on that jerkbait on the dam. My second fish, well, it could have been. I'll go ahead and put that in there as well. I had one on the jig, and I felt my drag slip when I went to boat flipper. I knew I shouldn't have done that. But I knew I didn't get a solid hook set in her, and when I went to flip her, she came off. But the other fish that I caught on the dam came on that worm. And here's my issue right there with those worms. You see that? It reminds me a lot of that gulp, and it dries up so fast, it's really stiff. The one that I had rigged up yesterday, that you guys seen in the beginning of the video, you know, with like an hour sitting at the house, it was already dried up. And I couldn't have this one rigged and ready here at the lake just because I knew it would dry up being out in the heat. So like I said, it was kind of a pain to deal with, but the material itself, the rubber, whatever this is, it's just really stiff. And but I did catch that other fish on the dam, so that was 2 on the dam, 1 on the jerkbait, 1 on this worm. And you can see what I did as well. Let's see if I'm going to show up or not. I took a scissors and I made a little hook slide in it, just because the gap on this hook is really not wide enough really for what I like as far as you know, rigging it like this. I would have liked a little wider and longer hook, but like I said, I made that little bitty hook slot in there, so it was less plastic that the hook had to go through. So really, when you set the hook, there's just a room for the shank to go in the worm, so you have more gap exposed to hook the fish. So anyways, yeah, not a fan at all of these worms here, but I did catch a fish on it, so that worked out. Put the blade there at the back. That's that shaky head in the worm. So, but the third fish, the best fish of the day, it was probably, I don't know, definitely over 2.5. Could have been 2 3/4, pushing 3. I didn't weigh it, but that jig, it fought me all day long. I mean, I had no luck on the jig, and what I ended up doing is putting the yum chunk there on the back of a spinnerbait. Gave it some bulk, and with the water being so muddy, I went ahead and upsized my spinnerbait blades as well, gave me a little more thump. But the third fish came on that bait right there. But yeah, the jig, I had a yum chunk on there on the jig, had the tails dipped in JJ's methylate. I also dipped them, had another one dipped in chartreuse, you guys can see that. Like I said, no luck at all on the jig. I mean, this is not a good lake to drag a jig, you know, being such a muddy bottom that all it does is just stir up crap, and they can't see nothing anyways. So I was more or less trying to swim that jig and hop it as I was swimming it. In the grass, on the rock, just like I said, didn't have much luck, so put her on the spinnerbait and we got her done. So anyways, it wasn't a total joker fest. We had a couple jokers, 1 came off, and then that decent fish. So anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, give me a thumbs up. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll talk to you soon. One little loop. There.